In fairness, they did try to make Back for Blood, but then it was bad. So,
I forgot.
Really,
about
if you
that.
think about, I mean, everyone forgot about it because it wasn't good.
Well, from what I played, I don't think it was bad. It's just I think it was really short, right? It was just really fucking short.
I mean, it was a decently long as far as the campaign is concerned, but it was like there wasn't much to from the couple missions. It was like 2 missions, and then you basically have the entire flow of the game. It was really sad because it seemed really promising. Well, no, but Left 4 Dead at least a bit more.
Maps.
It was fat. It's like you go through it faster. It's a little less complex. There's a lot less bloat. There's no grinding, and there's grinding in Back 4 Blood. You can't level up in Back 4 Blood by yourself. You have to play with other people in order to get levels and shit.
Yeah.
They ruined the game. That was a bad decision.
Yeah, I know. It's terrible.
Oh, hello everybody. Welcome back to the podcast.
Yeah, welcome back to the podcast. Wow.
I'm in the host seat now.
Yeah, you got your big boy pants. Yeah, I got his own microphone.
I got an upgrade, so now I'm the host.
Yeah, I know. We're Maxie is taking us hostage.
Riley's sitting off to the side, like in his own chair, but he's not the leader of the group. It's always me or Chase. We're the ones pioneering this. Without Chase, this wouldn't even be happening.
Yeah, you're right.
Oh my god.
The dissertation.
Oh my god.
You saying without this we wouldn't have...
And without Riley, I wouldn't have mooched a $200 mic off of him.
That's correct.
Thank you, Riley.
You're welcome, buddy.
Thank you.
You're welcome, big friend.
I'm poor.
You're poor, poverty.
I haven't signed up for a job in 30 years.
I fucking worked 12 hours for 2 weeks in a row with no day off for this money. Yeah.
Now you just make me look bad.
No, I'm not even trying to make you look bad, mostly just wallowing in my own depression of, man, that was 2 weeks that just evaporated off of my entire life. I'm never getting those 2 weeks back.
That's what happens when I fall asleep.
Existential crises, folks.
Yeah, I had a job, and then now I have fibromyalgia and rheumatoid arthritis. So...
That's cool.
But you didn't stick your hand in acid.
That's very true.
So...
Oh, yeah.
Pretty true.
Wait, when did you lose it? I thought it was like a month ago.
Yeah, it's probably been about a month.
We haven't talked about that? That's crazy.
No, I didn't talk about it. I said I was I didn't have a job. I did that really quick.
Oh,
just kind of move past it because you're just like, you don't want to. We don't want to revel in the fact that your job literally wanted you to stick your hand in a pool of fucking acid like a Saw villain. Chase, if you want your next paycheck, you have been locked inside of a room. There's a key at the bottom of the drain. However, the key is floated in acid. You have 3 minutes to escape or you're fired.
I also did like 33 hours the week before, and then like 25, and they cut my 25.
I think the funniest part was he wasn't even supposed to be on the clock that day.
Yeah, I came in on my day off, and they asked me to stick my hand in acid, and I was like,
Chase, it is currently your day off. There is a padlock at the bottom attached to the antidote to the nerve agent we have in your veins. Inject the antidote or you're fired.
It was literally like...
That's funny to me.
Like, you want to get paid?
They're fucking crazy.
Paid? Stick your hand in some acid. Let's see what happens.
It could not be me. I would be damn.
It's not. It couldn't be Chase either because he got fired.
I didn't get fired. They said if I thought it was disrespectful to say that because I didn't want to stick my hand in acid that I do nothing and I've never done anything ever at my job, I said that's a little disrespectful. And then my boss said, well, if you think that, you can clock out and never come back. Here I am.
Well, Chase, I think I'd use some loaded language. Would you like to come back to work?
Yeah, no.
No, thank you.
Then I got the call later.
I'm good.
That was like that, and I was like, never mind. I'm not gonna do this.
Yeah, this is ridiculous. Yeah. I mean, I don't blame you. Why the fuck would you?
My YouTube kind of popped off like right after that.
That's cool.
We love it. I'm almost monetized, and then I'll be making money.
How much is it when you're monetized?
Depends on what you do.
So, like, say you get like 15 views or whatever, but you meet the requirements and you're monetized.
What do you mean 15 views?
Like on a video.
On video?
Yeah, on video.
You need 3,000 watch hours to be monetized.
Yeah, but I mean, like, you're monetized. Is that like a monthly pay flat?
No.
Is it?
No, it's
based on
depending on what the
Okay,
viewership
so-
and
Viewership.
Okay.
It's called
Yeah.
AdSense.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
AdSense.
like, how much would AdSense be?
Depends on your CPM. So if you're like gaming, you get a lower CPM than somebody in like business or finance. So like
It doesn't even make. There's no way people are watching
Well, it's
business
because-
finance
it's because
videos.
people market.
Oh,
So like if you're marketing like as a watch company, you're not going to go to the gaming
what?
side of it.
Okay, see, this is
don't.
like literally this is something I don't
Like,
get, because literally in Japan there's like anime watch like crossovers
Yeah.
and like stupid business crossovers with like household like goods and services, and it's just like, okay, I would never buy this because I'm not a okay, I can't say that, but you know, I'm not a weeb, right?
Yeah.
That's what I think, but I know that's wrong. But I'm not that kind of a weeb, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I'm
not
not
like,
going to wear something
well-
that's like sure.
Well-
It doesn't even look affiliated. It doesn't even look affiliated with like the brand.
But if the Digimon / Hatsune Miku crossover happened, you would buy a figure in a heartbeat.
Yeah, the
Oh,
Digimon
hell
X
yeah.
Hatsune Miku X, what is it, Kohler, like a washing machine? A washing machine with Agumon. Would you buy the Agumon washing
That'd be
machine,
funny.
Maxie?
It would be funny.
I would buy if they were selling microwaves themed as like what's the Pokemon, the grub, the electric grub?
Grubbin.
Yeah, if they had like microwaves themed like Grubbin, I would buy one in a heartbeat.
All right, Maxie, consider
Okay.
an air fryer shaped like a Dragon Quest slime.
Oh, you know my.
Oh, you can pull out the mouth.
No, a rice cooker.
Oh.
As the slime, you just open the top and it's like that. So you just pack all the rice in. That would be.
Oh, it's so
You
cute.
see, now we're thinking with brands, baby. Brand synergists.
Yeah.
Hire
hit
us.
Hit us up. I'll do it.
Hit us up.
$50 an hour.
We'll design it. We have moderate skills.
Yeah.
Infinite time.
I was gonna say like aside.
No money.
Yeah, that's true. Aside from, but I was gonna say like, so it depends. So that if you're like in business or finance sector of YouTube, you're gonna get paid the most. It's called CPM or cent per milli,
That's why
and you can get like $1 per like 20 views or something crazy. Like people have like said crazy numbers
Yeah, because
in the business sector. But
there was a guy that
gaming
posted.
gets jack shit. So.
I know, it's fine. Look,
ahead.
I was saying there was a guy that posted something about another guy, like he was like talking about being monetized on YouTube already. He had 15 views on his video. He's like, "There's like this is not worth." Like somebody was like, "This is sad, right?" And I'm like, "Well, he's probably monetized even at
Yeah.
15 views. Like even if he gets 15 clicks on his video, that's probably like a pretty high percent for like how many videos are on YouTube, you know? So he's going to get like." Not a lot of money, like, but it's just like
That's why there's, like, a
it's
lot of
still-
people
You still
who-
get $1 or something, you know.
That's why, ironically, taking back to the last episode where we were talking about the finance cultist guys, that's why they still have influencers that push that, is because they are on the business and finance YouTube,
Yeah.
and they basically have monetized. they've basically like monetized the. they monetize their fucking weird cult bullshit.
Yeah.
Like they stay on their cult bullshit because that's what makes them money. So even if like they look stupid doing it, they're still getting crazy amounts of money for spreading their insane QAnon conspiracy theories.
So there's a guy that I used to watch because he did like personal finance. Like he wasn't really like a cult member who was like trying to sell you a get rich quick scheme. He was basically being like, look, you can affordably build up like a stock portfolio that like has good returns and you can do it. You're not going to be rich, but you are going to see a return at one point. And I followed him for a little bit and he would make videos about the most random, just crazy things. Like he would be like, you should never buy bottled water. And it's like, sorry, buddy, I live in a place where the wastewater management facilities don't care. So I can't do that.
Well, I don't think there's a place in America that actually like has drinkable water to the like standards that they set for themselves.
Like you mean like drinkable water as if you were like, you just spawned in as a human and you were near like a lake? It doesn't have like that type of...
No, I'm saying like if you're drinking
It doesn't pass
water,
its own standards.
yeah, like if you're drinking water out of a faucet, like yeah, you can drink it, but the parts per million of different like molecules like from like runoff or like just
Like
shit the government does.
Yeah.
Like it's in such a high percent that if you're drinking it, it's actually going to kill you, kind of.
Yeah, like slowly ruined.
Yes, it's slowly,
Yeah, I can see that.
and
Yeah,
and
it's
I don't think
inescapable at this point.
I don't think there's a place in the the world, I guess, that doesn't have that issue.
I think that's probably true. I like not even looking it up. Like in my head, that makes sense because of how many like
Boil water advisories over the last few years.
Yeah, and two, you can't even like boil out like forever chemicals. You can't get rid of them. There's nothing you can do. So it's like
Yeah.
you just try to like.
Did you
what
know?
Japan did was they tried to like get it down to like 1/10 of like a
Mhm.
harmful amount and then dump it.
Yeah. Did you know that like there's a study, it's like anywhere from 35% to 77% of all microplastics in a given area, depending on your basically how close you are to a highway, are tire particulate.
What the hell?
Yo, that's crazy.
That's gross.
Can I talk about this? This is something I want to talk about. This
Okay,
is
sure,
very
sure.
important to me. Now, this may be Howie Mandel. This may be a little OCD here, but when people poop,
Okay.
okay, we're gonna have this conversation. Get up after you wipe, of course. Get up, close the lid, then flush. I want this to be known. Your poop is airborne, just like anything else. You know how you get tire particles in your water and in your house, in the dirt around you when you're near a highway? Guess where that poop's going? Wherever it's near. So I just want you to know that a lot of people leave their toothbrushes out in the open in bathrooms. If you got an open lid, you got a poopy mouth.
Yep, that's the
I'm gonna
thing.
say it.
It's the only reason that it's basically like, I'm sure that you could do a study on it if there like any of the places in the United States where they still get cholera cases. I'm fairly certain it's probably like if you were to like test people and be like, how often do you wash your hands?
Yeah.
It's like, never. Oh.
I always wash my hands after I touch something like chicken. You know,
Oh,
that's like the only.
Yeah,
that's
I mean-
like the only time I consciously think about doing it.
I
That's
wash
fair.
my hands every time I touch anything that could be gross. But again, I have like, something wrong with my brain to make me do it.
Mine's only like
Yeah,
with
same.
food. I think like
Just-
If I,
Safety.
if I clean.
I just don't like
something-
being sick.
if I touch like a trash can, instantly wash my hands, don't touch nothing. If I touch like, if I touch any food, like instantly wash my hands, don't touch nothing. But I think that's just like kind of like I worked in the kitchen. I was a line chef for a little bit. I was a line cook for a little
Mhm.
bit. I worked the salad line, so you can't really mess up on that. But you'd be surprised. Well, I worked the breakfast and then the salad line. I worked for a little company called Panera. And then it closed
A little small chain called Panera.
Yeah, it's just
Wink,
a family
wink.
restaurant. And,
Just a small business.
and I worked the salad bar for a little bit. Salad line. And like they would get me because I'd be working and then like, you get a little itch somewhere. And like as soon as I do it, I mean, he's a great manager. I love the guy. He was great. But as soon as I go like this with like my wrist or something, you go, hands, and I go, oh, thank you, because you're not thanking, you're just like, oh, I'm itchy, and then you go like that, and you have a hair net and whatnot, so well, I did. A lot of places don't require hair net. Sorry, I'm not trying to waste everybody's time here. You
No,
obviously
no,
don't
it's
care, see?
it's
I've
it's a
spit in
lot
their
of a lot of OCD shit like that. There is a like, God, dude. There's a time at work, this dude comes in and he's like just finishing taking off a Tyvek suit covered in oil and stuff like
Ugh.
that, and he comes on in and he's like, oh, y'all eating it was like a little breakfast plate that we had out there because some dude brought in bread. Y'all eating breakfast? Hell yeah. Reaches over, like grabs like 2 pieces of bacon and like walks away, not even really like touching anything, and it's like there's like 7 pieces of bacon still on that plate. It's like, fuck.
It's like I'm not hungry.
I'm not hungry anymore. I'm not eating that fucking bacon. Get that shit out of my face. It was like the same thing happened where like this one guy who's like notorious for just like spitting tobacco everywhere and just like wiping his hands after spitting and all this other gross fucking shit. He's like, y'all eating pizza? Hell yeah. And before anyone can stop him, just scoops up 2 pieces of pizza and just like folds them over each other and starts just eating it and walking away and drops this big clump of fucking pizza on the floor and doesn't pick it up. And I'm like,
what the fuck?
God fucking damn it.
What the
Keeping
hell?
my office clean at my job is the worst goddamn task in the world.
Bro, you drop pizza on the floor and you're
It's not just that. Like he's like they're all coming in from like the factory too, where it's like you're
That's
covered in like metal
crazy.
particulate and stuff, and you're like, oh hell yeah, pizza.
There's got to be some level of dissonance, right? Like, just
I mean, my thing is like, just like Goo Gone, probably like some type of
Yeah, like Simple
Oh
Green
my
and shit like
God.
that, covering himself. Yeah,
the thing I'm thinking about is fucking Adam.
Virginia Adam.
Yes.
Oh,
Where he
fuck, no.
he was a car mechanic or something like that.
Yeah,
and his hands
man.
Were always
Dude, his nails were like fucking disgusting.
And, like,
it's like it wasn't
if he
until like
washed-
he started working in an office that dude started looking clean and presentable, because it was like it's the only time that he actually had to force to be shower every day was working in a fucking office at a coal company.
I don't know how people don't shower every day. Like, I'll be honest with you, I went like 3 days when I was like just out of high school.
This guy.
Like, I didn't have to do anything. I went 3 days without showering. But my hair, Maxie's hair gets oily too. My hair started to lock. It literally started to like form like unnatural, like not unnatural, but like
Locks.
yeah, I would say it's just like dirty, unprofessional locks.
Yeah,
literally
yeah.
like naturally, just like the grossest things, and they would just be greasy like clumps of hair, and I was like, I can't do this. I don't know how people do this.
When I worked at Amazon, my power went out for 2 days and I couldn't shower for like 2 of those days.
Yeah.
And it was misery. Like
Yeah.
coming home covered in like sweat and grease and shit, and you can't fucking wash was the fucking worst. And I can't imagine unironically doing that all the time.
Like,
Yeah.
I would have just drove to like with you. I would have drove the hour or two to just go to your parents and take a shower.
No, it was at the time. It was like both houses or whatever just didn't have any power, so it was like I got really tired of it, and it was like I like called my grandma at the end of the second day because it was like 3 days with no power or something like that. But I was like, "Hey, grandma, can I use your shower? Would that be fucked up and weird?" And she's like, "No, yeah, go ahead and use my shower. I'm surprised you didn't do it before." I'm like, I didn't think about it, and I don't know why. And I like washed myself, and it was like heaven. I was like, oh my god, this is the greatest feeling in the entire world, is being clean again. I'm like, oh, this is the best thing. My day is instantly better just because I showered.
Okay, I have this story. Okay.
Okay.
After high school, I was like I'm gonna skip class. I don't really feel like going. I have depression. I don't want to be here. Kind of high schooler, just like to give like some, context. So like when I went to high school, I had friends who lived by my high school. I lived like 20, 30 minutes away from high school. So I went over to one of my friends' houses like every day after high school. They wouldn't even be there. And they like gave me the code to their house. And I just like do the code and walk in, and I'd use their bathroom. I'd take a poop. And then like some days, like you're saying, I'd be like, dude, I feel so gross. Because I don't know why, but like high schools are like germ heavens.
Yeah, because
So-
you're packing several million students and some of them don't clean either.
Yeah, and like it just feels gross. So sometimes I would go to like a different friend's house because I like their shower better, and I would I would take a shower at one friend's house, and then and then I'd be like, all right, well, I'll see you. Thanks for letting me use the shower, and they'd like dap their mom up and then leave. Like I'd be like, nice seeing you. I had a strange time when I was in high school.
There
Life
was,
I was living.
speaking of like germ heavens, there was like, I got sick like 9 or 10 times while I was working at Amazon, just because it's like, again, it's a giant box filled with germs, because you've got like a couple thousand people working in one warehouse all the time. But there was a stretch where they had what I would call the bathroom pisser. Have you ever seen that old set of videos where like this dude goes into a bathroom and literally ruins it and just pissing all over the place. Somebody did that to every fucking bathroom every day. And it's worse than you think, because at Amazon, recall, you don't get bathroom breaks. You are timed on every interaction you do. So if you're like, yo, my 15-minute break is like an hour away, but I gotta piss, and you're going out of your way specifically to line yourself up with one of the bathrooms that's like 5 minutes away from you, and you're checking shit in, and you're running over to the bathroom, and every single stall is covered in piss. You're like, no, I can't use this bathroom, no.
Strikes again, the big pisser.
There was a time, literally, where
That's cool.
Oh my god.
I don't know, dude. Like, this person must have just been, was like going in and like smashing back water after water after water.
He's
And
just water maxing.
this one time, I went to, it's like, it's 2 hours away from my break. It's like 2 hour. I just taken my 15 minutes, like an hour before. It's 2 hours out. It's like a hot day. I'm smashing back water. I gotta piss.
Yeah.
I line myself up. Go in the bathroom. The bathroom pisser is struck. Fuck. Shit. Fuck. So I'm like, okay, there's a bathroom. Like if I go all the way over here and I check in an item and then I run up the stairs to the bathroom right above me, checking everything, run up there. The bathroom pisser has struck again, and I'm like, oh no, I'm literally fucked.
Yeah.
No way.
So I have to scam. I'm like, okay, I've got a plan. So I purposefully puncture 2 or 3 of the boxes to break them, and then I go up to the problem solver people who basically handle returns. I'm like, hey, I opened this box and 3 of these things are fucked up. And they're like, oh yeah, shit. Well, go ahead and let me scan your badge, because when they do that, they check everything out in your name, and you've got a 5-minute window. So I use that 5-minute window to run across the fucking building to another bathroom and go to the bathroom and then run back and check myself into a cart before I got timed out.
Wow.
And I took my scanner gun with me so I wouldn't get in trouble. I was like, it was the most high risk shit I had ever done at my job.
You were like
I had to play the system so I wouldn't piss my pants.
you were Dexter.
You were gonna be the pants pisser next to them.
You were just as evil though. You're Dexter, and you're finding the Trinity killer from the show Dexter.
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah.
Just to keep you informed.
Oh really?
And like you're just like, yeah, I'm gonna ruin this package so that way I can run to the restroom because my company won't allow me to pee.
I didn't. It was also the other thing. It was like they started cracking down on people pissing in bottles.
Yeah.
Because like they always do. Anytime like there's a big rash of somebody pissing in bottles to avoid getting timed out, and they're like, if we catch you pissing in a bottle, you're instantly terminated. And I was like, I don't want to lose my job. I can't lose my health
Riley
insurance.
was a
I can't
bottle
lose my
pisser?
job. I did not. I know I was not a bottle pisser.
Riley
I
was a
couldn't
bottle
do it,
pisser.
man. I just couldn't do it.
I was a bottle pisser, but I was doing deliveries for UPS. So like the person that I did a ride along with when I was starting out was like, hey, I don't take lunches because the later you stay here, the later you work. You don't get like a lunch break and then you clock out like at the same time that you normally would.
Mhm.
It's like you have to deliver every package or you can't clock out, basically. So he's like, hey, I don't take lunches and I don't take bathroom breaks. And I was like, this is an 8-hour day. You are a psycho. And then he's like, well, you can always piss in a bottle. And I was like,
Get those Gatorade bottles. That's the wide neck, bigger than normal bottles.
yeah. So, he's driving. I'm sitting there trying to piss into a
The
bottle.
thing, when I'm thinking about pissing in a bottle, though, I'm so scared that I'm gonna piss way more than what the bottle holds.
Get a big gulp.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. You get the big Gatorade bottle.
No, just even thinking about the big Gatorade bottle. Brother, I don't think you've seen me piss.
Remember when we were on our way to Las Vegas and one of our friends was driving and they handed me the bottle to piss in and they were like, yeah, just piss in the bottle. And then I pissed all over myself. And they handed me this tiny ass bottle and I was like, dude, my
little
bladder
fun
is
size.
6 times that size.
Yeah.
And then, you know what they said? I said, what do I do with this piss bottle? Oh, just throw it out the window. What?
Yeah, exactly.
Somebody else has got to pick up my piss.
Yeah, literally.
You go over to the side of you go to wherever it's wooded and pour it in the dirt.
No, I would just throw it away in a trash can. Just hold on.
Piss in the trash? Then the garbage man has to deal with your piss?
It's in a bag. I promise you, I've done community service. I picked up way worse than shit.
Do you know what crane crews do?
No.
There is a special bag made for you to piss in that has this like gel stuff that like soaks up your piss and then solidifies.
Yo.
So you can throw it away later.
You want to chew the
They have,
solidified
like-
piss.
That completely derailed my thought process. I have been. You just ethered my cerebellum, brother. You can't say that shit. Oh my
gooey.
god. I'm gonna take the piss brick and beat myself to death with it. You have killed Chase's soul. He's going to jump off the roof of my apartment building. In approximately 10 minutes, we're gonna watch Chase like drop down in the window behind us like Final Destination. No. Was that the movie with Mark Wahlberg and the trees? The Happening.
Oh.
The Happening, yeah, with Mark Wahlberg and like the bit where they're like, you know, it's in a suspenseful thing, and then you see like a bunch of people drop in the window behind him and stuff like that. Yeah,
Because like if I pissed, no way. If it's
they're running away from the wind.
Yeah,
I would
carries that pollen.
I would overflow that motherfucker so easily.
You would, yeah, I would too. This is like maybe a third of what I put. I was peeing behind the garage because Angel came over and was like, "Come on, let's go have a little pee break." And I said, "Okay, Poppy." And then we went over behind the garage, and then you know we casually hey knock it off. These are good shoes. Hey.
Casually.
We were casually pissing right next to each other, as bros do. And I kept pissing because I just, you know, that's what happens. You know, you're a big pisser.
You start and you don't stop.
Yeah, and then Angel's literally like dying laughing, looking at me pee. Like, just like, because he's like, "You still going? Why? How are you still peeing?" And it's like 3 minutes. And then he's just like, "That's insane. I've never met anybody."
I think the longest I did it was when I was like a kid and we went to a baseball game.
Mm-hmm.
And I took my dad with me, and there was like 30 people in line for the bathroom, and I got to my turn, and I was sitting there, and the guys would go to like the next stall and leave, go to the next stall and leave, and the dudes behind me were like, "What the fuck is wrong with this kid? This dude's got a bladder."
What can I say? Big pissers in our family.
Yeah.
I'll never stop.
Fire hose, baby. Yeah, Big Pissers Incorporated.
I started saying big pisser because Riley had a friend. I'm not going to out this.
Oh no. Oh no, not. Poor Fred.
Yeah, that somebody wanted to, his friend wanted to be pissed on, but then was like, "Not by you though, not by you."
Which was the most awkward thing anyway. I'm like, okay, that's weird. And then like, "Not by you." I'm like, "You've somehow made it weirder. How did you do that?"
You didn't have to tell me that.
You didn't not need to specify anything. This is just kind of weird.
Like, out of all the bodily fluids, though, it's probably, well, I guess spit's more tame, you know? Like, I want to spit on you.
We don't need to make
do you
a
think I
tier
want to
list
spit
for
on
this,
you
I
is
don't think.
more weird or less weird than pissing?
Less?
But what if they're like...
Okay, maybe that's a bit weird. Okay, now we're just trying. I don't want to make a tier list on this. This is too much. We can hit the eject button on this conversation.
What if they do something like...
Eye of horror.
It's
What if
bad.
they do like a booger thing where they go...
What are you wrong with you?
This is
Are you just like grody? today?
what? Yeah, what is? You are on something fucked up today.
I'm sorry. Sorry, I spent 7 hours with Bus in the last, like, 10, so...
Something's wrong.
I mean, yeah, I guess, but also, what the fuck?
Yeah, this is too grody. This is not a grody podcast.
Why not?
Okay, it's not.
It shouldn't be, but we've been on one today. It's been a hell of a week, folks.
I'm thinking.
It's raining.
At least the big pisser is like a funny thing to say.
Yeah.
You're just like, what if I swallowed a gallon of somebody's spit? I'm like, I don't know what he wanted to talk about.
You're like, I want to chew the piss brick. Like,
Yeah.
okay, hang on a minute.
I thought it was funny.
You know what?
Sure, fair enough.
So, what have you been up to, right?
Suffering at work. The American shipping infrastructure is terrible.
I'm being silenced.
You're being set. We gave you a mic. We literally gave you a mic.
Canceled. I'm being canceled.
I'm being cancelled for my beliefs.
So much.
Watch me on Saturday in my next comedy special.
So much for the tolerant left.
Amen. Amen. So much for the talent. They're silencing me and my piss jokes. I'm not, yeah.
Ricky Gervais's next special. It's all about piss.
Oh
Ricky
God.
Gervais is like the least funny
Who is that?
culture comedian. He's the British
Let me Google
guy.
him.
He made the Office.
The atheism.
He made
yeah.
The Office?
Yeah,
British
the original, the British
Ricky-
Office, the worst Office.
Gervais? Oh, Gervais. Yeah, there
Gervais.
was an I.
Every single person always says like, "Well, you see, the British version is better as a
He
contrarian,"
is-
and you're like, "No, the British version was like 2 seasons. You can't say that."
I will-
Like the American version is like 7 seasons and wildly different from whatever you've made.
And also, it has Jim in it.
Who makes CIA propaganda now?
Ooh.
Oh yeah, that's right, he does.
Yeah.
Wow, he became a superhero soldier thing.
Man,
Yeah.
Jack whatever versus the perfidious Venezuelan hordes.
So how much money would it take for you to be like a CIA asset?
Couple billion maybe.
Oh.
1,000.
You're expunging your medical debt. Yeah.
Yeah.
Get my medical debt being discharged. You know, like listen, I got issues. All right, I got a credit card to pay off.
I never said I was a good person. Probably nothing. You probably couldn't pay me.
Yeah, I don't know. I probably
I'd
wouldn't.
rather just get a job. That's the other thing. I got accused of stealing not too long ago by somebody who like I've known my entire life, and I was like, I would rather die than like steal. You know what I mean? Like I'd rather be in a soup kitchen like asking for like a slice of bread than like steal $20 from
You know,
someone.
thinking about it, I'd steal from him. Just thinking on it, you know, it's not like a big deal. Like
You and I.
well, actually, I would do it, and then I'd be like, "Yeah, I took the money." I would tell them as soon
And
as
then
I
you
did
would
it
go
and
to
use it.
jail.
And then you'd be like based.
Well, I mean, like I know who they are. I would just, you know, like
I
what?
know who you are.
I know who you're talking about, so
Yeah.
I would do that. I'd be like, "Yeah, I took it."
Yeah, I could never do that. Just me as a person, I could never steal money from like any. Well, if Elon Musk dropped like $100,000, I would push him into a ditch. and
I would
take-
steal from Drake.
Yeah, I'd steal from. Elon.
Ooh, baby girl, we were
would
meant to
steal
be
from
together.
At least Drake.
Meet me up after your middle school class.
I don't know if I regret the mic or not. I don't know.
You know,
Back and forth.
it's mixed. We gotta you know, it'll be a couple of weeks before we really decide whether or not to cancel culture Maxi forever.
We're silencing his opinions.
Send him to the cancel culture black site.
Yeah, I don't know. I think stealing is like a thing that I've just never.
I'd never cared.
About stealing?
Yeah, like sometimes it's like, oh, maybe I shouldn't do that. Only because I'm a consequentialist. We took this little quiz yesterday. I'm a
You
consequentialist.
should talk closer to the mic.
Oh,
If
You're a
don't have-
consequentialist.
I'm a how about like this? I'm sorry. I'm a
Commit to the bit. And I don't
okay, I don't want to eat it.
Yeah,
Is
see,
the,
that's- yeah.
Sorry, but
You said,
I was saying I'm a because like I would steal if I think for like 100% I would get away with it scot-free. Boom, doing it, no thought about it.
nah, couldn't
Like
do it.
I'd be if I had
Not
more
for me.
balls, I would do what Ryan does and just like open drinks in the store, drink them all in the store,
I
and
do that. I
leave.
don't consider that stealing though, because I've also paid them like it's only at like Home Depot, where I paid them like hundreds of dollars for materials that haven't worked or haven't done. I would never do it at like a mom and pop shop.
Oh yeah, that's
It's
completely.
a corporation. That's
Yeah.
not stealing. They're doing that
What-
to you.
That's
I mean,
a
it's-
decimal point for
It
them.
is stealing.
They're literally
It's
giving
just
back.
it's just justified.
Well, I don't know about that. I think it's not. I don't think it's. I think they're stealing from their employees. So it's not like a.
Okay, I'm
Hey,
not
I
saying.
bought
I'm not
thousands of
bringing
dollars
up.
from-
Okay, I'm not.
Robin
saying,
Hood or et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah, yeah.
I feel like
Yeah,
this is
Robin
some
Hood
real
stealing-
nuanced
Is
shit.
Robin Hood stealing from the rich and giving to the
Yes.
poor, or is it just
That's
distributing?
that's literally what he's doing. He's
Yeah.
stealing from the rich and giving. It's not saying he's not justified. That's literally the title of the fucking. Oh, stealing from the rich and giving to the poor. I don't even know the song, but I know that's what they does. What the hell? Like, come on.
Well, yeah, I just think there's like a fine line between like an action like stealing, like thievery.
Quit being a nuanced word
I'm
pedant.
not being a word pedant. I'm saying like.
Actually, you shouldn't be okay with the Ashkenazi Jews that are opposed to Netanyahu's regime because they're not as good people as you think they are. This is how I feel about you right now.
I think that's a completely different thing.
Yeah, but I'm saying like I don't care.
I think the harshity of stealing or thievery is way lighter than what you're painting it as when it comes to a company who bought thousands of dollars worth of things.
It also
and they fucked you over.
Oh
and
my
it
God,
depends
that's not,
on like.
It's not the point. That's all I'm saying. It's not the point.
I think we're missing what point there is. There's three different points. We can move on.
I'm saying, and then you're saying it's stealing because Ashkenazi Jews are.
No, nobody's saying that.
I don't care. It's not weighing it. It's not weighing it. I don't think it's stealing because I already gave them a shit ton of money.
But did you pay for the drink?
Yeah, I'd paid for drinks before, yeah.
Oh, before, but not that one in particular.
I've also paid for lumber I've had to throw away and they wouldn't take back.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Okay, that doesn't equate to it's still probably bad for them not like all I'm saying is it's justified, but like it's still stealing.
I don't agree. I don't agree.
You don't like the negative connotations with the word. That's all it is. That's all it is.
It's not even negative connotation. It's like if you were to give.
What is wrong with you?
If it was like an actual thing and not just like a corporation, if it was an actual entity that cared about anything, they would be like, oh, we did bad with our lumber. I'm sorry about that. Here's your money back. But instead, they're like, well, we're not taking back bad lumber. And then they like just steal money from you. It's like a barter system at that point. You're like literally getting stolen from.
I'm gonna scream.
I'm not even being ironic. Like this is I don't see what.
It's just not the same thing. It's just not like.
Well, because the law says that it's stealing if they caught you and somebody could go to jail for it.
Well, no, like the definition of the word stealing is you take something from someone else that they're offering as a good or service pretty much, and then like you're not paying for it. Like I'm not saying that it's not justified.
So I'm seeing paying for it in terms of like trade, and you're seeing paying for
or you're going into someone's property and taking their stuff without their permission, which is essentially the same thing too. Like I'm not saying it's not based. I think it's cool. Do it, whatever.
No, I don't even think it's like based. I see it as like if this was like an actual place that had like a brain. Like if a person actually ran this store, they would be like, yeah, of course you can have a free drink. We've messed up your job several times.
Listen, I don't want to. Listen, I don't need your justifications. I get it now.
Like
I think I understand.
Yeah. Okay. So you're on the same page as me then?
No, I'm on the same page.
You are?
Oh, I mean, I get it.
Yeah. Okay.
But has nothing to do with it.
We're gonna go in circles if you continue doing this. This is about like 10 minutes.
Look,
you're insane.
Look, you didn't say anything the whole time.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't have a word in edgewise. This is a circular argument.
Talk about something like important and cool, like something like our channel's based off of anyway.
Oh, like a fantasy thing? Or
yeah, like a fantasy setting.
Yeah,
or
let's
like,
talk about Starfield.
It's the real fantasy.
You thought 10 minutes.
The real fantasy is Bethesda being a good artist. Haha. The real fiction. That's right. Todd Howard being competent. The real fiction. Bethesda being a corporation that cares about the quality of their products.
Do you want to do like a tier list one day of like random RPGs not RPGs like video games, but like base like pen and paper systems that we've played?
We could do that, and we could also play through a lot of them.
Well, yeah, but I'm just saying
like a lot of the easy ones. We could even do a tier list of like board games, like classic ones, like Monopoly.
Ooh. They're all like D.
Yeah, they're
except
all
like Strategio. I would say that like Strategio, out of all the classic one, is the only one that really holds up because it's like an actual game that you can win and lose and change strategies. It's like
Sorry.
Like Risk.
You like Sorry?
Yeah, I would say that. I mean, like Sorry is just.
Do you like Don't Break the Ice?
I wouldn't say it's a classic board game. I'm saying like a Milton Bradley. I mean, that's for the 90s, right?
Okay.
Like classic to us because we're old and it's the 90s. But I'm saying like older than we are kind of stuff. Like Ticket to Ride is technically like a
She's
classic
got a
one, or
ticket to
McCall.
ride.
Like
Is that a song?
Sorry technically is as well. Monopoly, Strategio, all that bullshit. Snakes and Ladders. A lot of those games are just like there's not really a game so much as you're rolling a dice because there's no real decision for you to
What
make.
about snakes and escalators? Eels and escalators, sorry.
Yeah, I mean it's the same thing,
you
right?
made it- you did it wrong the
Eels
first
and
time.
escalators. Yeah, I mean it's basically like a counting game that you teach to children. It plays itself. I'm saying like out of all of them, Monopoly and Strategio are the only ones where you actually make a decision that affects the outcome of the game.
Do you think that makes a good game? Is like the decision making?
But that's what it makes a game. Like
I don't know.
I think that Candyland is like a counting exercise.
Hey.
And it's not fun. It's fun when you're a child, but like I'm saying like
Oh, I see.
or like if you're a parent or whatever, because it's easy and it's fun and you can be like, oh no, you're stuck in Mr. Muck's swamp. Whoa! Because it's a tool to teach children counting and colors and how to play structured things for them to get older.
I'm saying if you pulled out Monopoly, Strategio, Yahtzee,
Sorry, let me play like
Candyland.
Well, Yahtzee is the only other
Yeah,
one
I'm
as
learning
well.
how to-
'Cause Yahtzee, you're taking a risk on like rolling the dice.
learning
I'm
how to.
in Candyland. I want to go, boop, 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 and then I want to go. Oh, you got a 3. Boop, 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 boop. That's way funner than being like, I'm gonna buy all the trains.
It's because Monopoly's a bad game.
Yeah.
It's not designed to be
Same.
fun.
Uh-oh.
Like
I was thinking the whole time like
the
learning.
only other one that I remember that's like worse than normal Monopoly is the versions of Monopoly that people write that literally purposefully make the game more frustrating to play. Like there's a guy that I watched who did videos on Extreme Monopoly, which is it is Monopoly, but you add 5 more rings to the board and approximately 20 more properties and a stock system and a pyramid scheme system and
Oh,
the
hell
prison going to jail. That's right, it's another board.
What was the game? Was it Fortune Street?
Yeah,
Yeah, that game.
that game,
reminds me of that.
that game sucks.
Yeah,
That game's
Dokapon
great.
Paradise.
No, Fortune Street sucks because you can literally see like the RNG. Well, no, I'm not. Don't give me that fucking face because
That's
it
not
literally.
why I play it. I play it because they go, woo! Woo. What do you mean?
I would say Fortune
We were
Street is
playing
barely
it.
better Monopoly, I would say.
Well, the thing is, the RNG is so in favor of somebody during the game sometimes just because it wants the game to end, right? Like, I'm pretty sure it's there to set the game turn limit to a certain amount and, like, make sure somebody has a clear lead. Because what happens is when me, Chase, and Stain were playing it, every time somebody would own an entire strip of, like, 4, it would always roll 5. Like, it would never roll 1, it would never roll 2, 3, 4, and it would never roll 6, which is like kind of what would give it away, is that it would be so close to hitting the stretches.
I mean, that's the
properties.
problem with digital adaptations of
and
any
like-
kind of board game.
And it's very obvious that there was like an RNG manipulation within the board game itself. And I'm sitting there like, it's not like a recency bias or something like that, where it's like, oh yeah, I bet it's going to roll a 4, and then it does it. Like, it was the entire time we were playing, I'm like, okay, I bet it's going to roll 5, and then it rolled 5. I'm like, it's getting a little too consistent. you
Yeah,
know?
like the digital versions of board games are so fucking hard to get right because there's no.
It feels like it was made.
It's not true RNG. There's not a dice, right? Even like
Yeah.
there's a guy, I think it's like Brendan Lee Mulligan or something like that. One of the guys who's friends with Matt Mercer. I don't recall who they were specifically, but they were talking about like the argument about RNG is kind of like useless, is only really useful if you're talking about like board games or something like that, because even if your dice have a bias, it's a physical object that is technically a bit more fair than like a computer.
Yeah.
And especially if you're making an NPC play that game.
Yeah.
Because there's no way to make a digital board game NPC do things that doesn't involve them just cheating.
Yeah.
Because that's what they do in most digital board games, is just the computer basically gets to predict everything and cheat.
I expect it from an NPC, but like when it's an actual, like, because you can just program a dice that's just like 1 to 6, you know,
Yeah.
the same, and like, yeah, it might be off because it's not complete true random, but at least like it can feel random.
Mm-hmm.
Like in the game, it felt like such a Nintendo move to have a player who was clearly in a bad spot get out scot-free every single time, to where it's kind of like they don't want somebody feeling bad in a board game for losing.
Yeah, they're like a family.
Yeah, and like I get it.
Yeah.
I completely get it, but you made a board game.
Yeah.
Like
You're
that's what the
supposed
board
to
game
feel bad
does.
when you-
Yeah. That's half the reason that like a lot of people like Dokapon Kingdom.
No.
Like Dokapon Kingdom, everyone likes that one because it is a game that is completely bloodthirsty, cutthroat, and is in no way, shape, or form like it does not coddle you. It's like you die. Fuck you, idiot. Which rules. I like that game just because of how cruel and awful it is. Sweepy, need some coffee.
I'm EP N27. I was gonna say, what board games do you prefer to play when it's like a board game set? Like not like a pen and paper, but like more like it comes with all the pieces. I've seen a couple board games that are like, it comes with like certain cards, and you go around the map, and you have to design like a set with the cards that help you as you go along the map.
You know what?
Games like that. That's kind of like my preference is probably around like I love being able to move objects. For some reason, that's like fun to me. So that's how I am.
I'm thinking
Do you
like
have a preference?
Pokemon Master Quest.
I don't know it.
That's the one where you go around the world, and every time you hit like a certain area, you get to flip a thing and catch a Pokemon. And then your Pokemon count for different like points.
Yeah, it's really weird. It's an old out-of-print board game.
Mm-hmm. We have
I
it.
don't remember it.
We have it.
I know. I don't remember it.
I like anything, mostly just because I like a lot of different games. But I remember, obviously, Root is the one that's like, I would say that's my favorite board game.
I really like
Period.
that one that we played in Radford, where it was the board game night, and it was like dungeon delving, and you had like you were playing a different class for each one, and it changed the way.
There's a
you
lot of
played.
different ones that are like that, but I remember.
I can't remember what it was called or anything.
I think that was the Penny Arcade board game that they came out with. Yeah,
that was cool.
That was actually really good. Yeah, they actually do make really good board games. Unironically, for a kind of out-of-date cringe gaming webcomic, they actually do have like really good people on their staff that make really good products.